Hello dear students, welcome back to this class of English. Students, in today's session I'm going to start a new lesson, The 100 Dresses from your English book, First Flight. This story is about a Polish girl who faces discrimination when she goes to school. So, let's move on and read it. Well students, the author of The 100 Dresses is Eleanor Estes. Eleanor Estes was an American author and children's librarian. The 100 Dresses was one of her most noticeable work, and she wrote the story because of her own regrets and as the only way she could make up for being unkind to someone else in her youth. The story is based on her life experience. She related herself to Maddie, one of the very main characters of the story, who received all the old dresses of Peggy to wear as she was poor. Students, this is a very moving story and it's very relevant even in today's time, for it focuses on the concept of peer pressure, bullying, and to some extent racial discrimination. And the adage, strong people don't put others down, they lift them up, fits in the story very well. There are three main characters. The first is Wanda, who is a girl with Polish heritage coming from a poor family. Then we have Peggy, maybe from an affluent family, very pretty, the most popular girl in the class and has curly hair. Then we have Maddie, who is Peggy's best friend and herself comes from a poor family. And she is the one who has little misgivings regarding their behavior with Wanda, but never has the courage to speak up in the defense of Wanda. Students, the story will move forward on the basis of the headings being shown to you. These headings will ultimately help you to prepare the lesson for your exam. So, don't ignore the headings at all, but read them very carefully. So, the story starts with the protagonist Wanda, who is absent in class, but her absence goes unnoticed. Wanda Petronsky sat in the seat next to the last seat in the last row in room number 13, the corner where the rough boys sat. Boys who were not inclined towards studies, who never got good marks or grades, where the loudest dragging of the feet was heard, where there was always the mud and dirt on the floor, and the loudest roars of laughter would be heard when something funny was said. And Wanda was totally opposite to all this. She was a quiet, silent girl who hardly laughed, and if ever, there was just a small smile on her lips, but never a laugh. Nobody knew why she chose to sit in the last row, perhaps because of the reason that she came from a place called Boggins Heights. It was a place where poor immigrants lived. Her feet were usually covered with dry mud. Nobody really thought much about Wanda when she was in the class. Today, she was not in her seat, but no one noticed her absence. Wanda Petronsky was an object of fun. Her schoolmates thought of Wanda only when she was outside. Only outside the school, they waited for Wanda to have fun with her. After 2 days, Peggy and Maddie noticed that Wanda was not there in the class. Peggy was the most popular girl in school. She had pretty clothes and her hair was curly. Wanda Petronsky was rather a strange name for the children in room number 13. They didn't have names like that. They had names easy to say, like Thomas, Smith, or Alan. Wanda didn't have friends. She came to school alone and went home alone. She always wore a faded blue dress. It was clean but never ironed properly. Peggy would always try to make fun of Wanda in the most courteous manner. She would ask, "How many dresses did you say you had hanging up in your closet?" Wanda would answer, "100." Then Peggy would ask in a teasing but polite manner, "All silk, I bet?" Wanda would reply that they were all silk and of all colors. Then, before Wanda had gone very far, all the girls would burst into shrieks and peals of laughter. The only dress Wanda wore was a blue one. "What a story!" they would say, meaning that she was telling a lie. They would again ask Wanda teasingly, "How many shoes?" Wanda would reply, 60 pairs. But Maddie was not like Peggy. She didn't like this business of asking Wanda how many dresses, shoes, and hats she had. Maddie was poor herself. She often wore old clothes, usually given by someone else. She felt embarrassed when Peggy questioned Wanda in a mocking, polite voice. She wished Peggy would stop teasing Wanda Petronsky. She pictured herself in the schoolyard, a new target for Peggy and the girls. Peggy might ask her where she got the dress that she had on. Maddie would have to say it was one of Peggy's old dresses that she was wearing, and then held the drawing competition. Maddie began to wonder who was going to win the drawing and coloring contest. For girls, this contest consisted of designing dresses. Peggy was the favorite as she drew better than anyone else in the room. Everybody thought that Peggy would win the prize. The next day, when they entered the classroom, they found there were drawings all over the room. There must have been 100 of them. They were all lined up. Miss Mason announced the winners. She told them that one girl drew 100, all different and in beautiful colors. She declared that Wanda Petronsky was the winner of the girls' medal. Wanda had been absent from school for some days and was not there to receive the prize. Miss Mason asked the children to file around the room quietly and look at Wanda's beautiful drawings. Peggy and Maddie noticed that particularly two blue and green dresses which Wanda used to talk about were displayed there. So, students, it was the day when the truth about the same 100 dresses came out, unveiled, on the result day of the drawing competition. The room was lined up with 100 drawings portraying different dresses, each so beautiful. That day, she truly had 100 dresses all lined up, but in the classroom. At that moment, Peggy and Maddie, who were awestruck, realized the theory of 100 dresses and felt guilty about having treated her badly. But unfortunately, Wanda was not present to hear the applause, the appreciation that was due to her. Both the girls realized that they misjudged Wanda and felt incredibly guilty for never believing her stories of her 100 dresses. In the end, the girls wrote a letter to Wanda hoping to make amends, and they were pleasantly surprised by her willingness to forgive. So, students, one of the main themes of the story is about the act of forgiving someone's mistakes too. In this story, Wanda forgave her classmates who used to bully her for her weird name and also for her fake story about 100 dresses. But the story ended with a letter written by the girls who bullied Wanda. They were really impressed with Wanda's artistic talent and her readiness to forgive. You know, students, the maxim, repentance is the worst punishment and forgiveness is a divine quality, stands true in the story The 100 Dresses. Peggy and Maddie were remorseful after Miss Mason read Wanda's father's letter to the class. Both of them wanted to amend their behavior towards Wanda. It was Wanda's forgiving nature that had compelled them to be repentant. Maddie was hurt the most and began empathizing with Wanda. And students, if Wanda would not have been poor, she would not have worn the blue faded dress every day to school, which branded her as a social outcast. On the other side, Maddie's own poverty stopped her from defending Wanda because Maddie feared she herself would become a target of abuse if people found out that Maddie wore Peggy's hand me on dresses, old dresses. Ultimately, Wanda's kind heart and drawing skills proved to the class that her poverty did not indicate that she was any less worthy of praise and acceptance. Hence, Maddie was remorseful and therefore decided that she with Peggy would go to Wanda's house at Boggins Height and tell her the news she had won the drawing contest. They wanted to tell her that she was very talented and smart. They also wanted to tell her that they were sorry for having made fun of her. So, students, the story, The 100 Dresses, is indeed a nice story that has taught us that we should never make fun of the unique differences of our fellow human beings. We should try to accept them as they are and be cooperative with them. So, we would read the other part soon in our next video. Till then, goodbye.